Shalom, this is Rabbi Jeremy Lawrence from Kinloss Synagogue. There is a curious midrash on the familiar story of Cain and Abel. As we all know, after he saw his brother's sacrifice more favorably received than his own by God, Cain slew Abel. We read that when God admonished him, declaring it will be his fate to wander the world, Cain protests that he will be an immediate target for slaughter. It is in response to this that God sets a sign upon him to mark him out for life. The rabbis of the Midrash debate what was the sign and what was its purpose. Rabbi Yehuda says, God caused the sun to highlight him. This would be indicative of divine protection. Rabbi Nehemiah retorts, how inappropriate it would be to cause the sun to shine on such a wretch. Rather, Cain was afflicted with leprosy, consistent with later spiritual punishment. Rav says that God gave Cain a dog. Abba Yossi says that Cain grew a horn. Rav says that God made Cain an example to murderers. Rabbi Hanin says he was an example to penitents. Clearly we can understand the horn as either fearsome protection or hideous disfigurement. As he goes through life, seeing people recoil in horror, Cain will be constantly reminded of the magnitude and revulsion of his sin. But what on earth is meant by the idea that God gave Cain a dog? How could that be a sign? Ramban explains it as a guide dog. The dog went ahead of him and ensured he did not stumble into the greater danger of wild animals which would attack him without any moral compunction. Ramban further explains that Cain himself is a sign and a warning to humanity. But how do we match Rav's claim that God gave Cain a dog with his later statement that he made him an example to murderers? Dogs are loving, loyal, and affectionate to those who show them kindness. Of course, they can turn savagely against those who betray them. In giving Cain a dog to guide him, God also made Cain responsible for his only dependable companion. If Cain wanted affection, he would need to show kindness, and he would come to appreciate the interdependence which had eluded him in his relationship with Abel. Cain's dog is both protector and companion, a sign for interdependence and healthy relationships, that you must constantly invest if you hope for a return. But with a dog, the onus for initiative is exclusively upon Cain. The Midrash provides a touching symmetry. In the earlier Adam and Eve story, the serpent shows the animal kingdom to be the instigator of sin and destroyer of relationships. Cain's dog is presented as a means of rehabilitation and of bonding. May we learn to treat each other with kindness and compassion, appreciate the blessing of companionship and responsibility in relationships. May we choose friends who will guide us in the right direction, and may we be true friends and guides to our fellows. Wishing all friends on 2 feet and on 4 a Shabbat Shalom.